understanding of and the ambiguity of some things can't be translated.
Like slang words and stuff. People use, or maybe not even slang, but people have multiple meanings for one certain word.
Yeah.
And if you're just boxing yourself into saying it only means one thing, then you're fucking yourself pretty good.
Corey Taylor from Slipknot actually has a quote about that. If you lock yourself in a box, then where are you going to go? And I was just, wow, you just kind of blew my mind. You're deep, Jade.
Thanks. I try. I try super hard. The beer helps.
Oh, the beer always helps. In fact, you know.
Yay! It's time for a beer break.
It totally is. And it's actually a little bit of a special beer break, too. I mean, well, really, they're all special, aren't they? But today starts our 12 days of Christmas. Obviously, there's more than 12 days until Christmas. However, there's not 12 episodes until Christmas. So, since we're past Thanksgiving, and Christmas music is
playing
tolerable, we are going to start our Christmas beer selection. And today, we are drinking English Toffee Milkshake Stout.
Yeah, we bought one of the advent calendars from Rochester Mills again, like we did last year.
That was a good idea last year, and I am already happy with it this year.
Yes.
This beer is really good. It's a milk stout, ale brewed with milk sugars and cocoa nibs. So kind of your standard milk and chocolate. Make it sweet.
Yeah.
But holy shit, it's really good. It's what, 5.2%? So it's not crazy.
Yeah, not gonna knock you on your butt.
Yeah. And it's only 20 IBUs, so it's not bitter.
Nope.
It's good. It's like a milkshake. I want very much to mix this in with some ice cream, and I think that would be just fine. Like the caramel and the... Oh, don't get me started. Okay. Highly, highly approve. If you guys find these things from Rochester Mills, again, you'll find them in a big red pack. You should definitely pick it up and enjoy them with us.
Mm-hmm. I already finished all of my share of this can, so I'm going to go get another one. And we'll be back right after this.
And we are back. So, as he looks at the words, they draw him in. Why are you smiling? Am I about to read something?
No!
He points at the word Drauka. Oh, I understand. She wanted me to say Drauka. That's how it's pronounced. Drauka. That's what I'm going with. And the sword flashes in his eyes. That word is at the center of the argument. It's from... God damn it. See this? Okay, so this is how we're doing it. F-U-E-R is Fuhr.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Is like the E and the U are backwards, kind of. Fuhr. And then Grissa, easy enough. Ost. I've heard Oost and Oost. Ost. Ost. Ost makes sense to me because it's O-S-T. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Drauka is Drauka. The A-U is like an O and a W. Because I'm a layman. But that's how I pronounce it. Fuhr, Grissa, Ost, Drauka. Boom.
Okay.
We got there.
That's why I wanted you to read this.
Yeah, I fully expect many, many emails and comments about how I just slaughtered that. And that's okay, because when it comes down to it, I don't know. I really don't know. But that's what I'm going with. So I apologize if I'm wrong.
Well, from now on, we can just say the bringer of death, because that's what it means.
Yes. But it's not the words that are disputed. It's just the meaning.
Correct.
Yes. The Dakra's name comes from the same word. Death, as in dead. Bringer of dead. It also represents the souls of the dead. Richard says more accurately is actually the bringer of spirits. That's the second meaning. There are three, and Richard already knows the third too. The bringer of the underworld, the place of the dead. Warren asks if he has Daharan blood. I love the way he says it too. He's like, you don't have Daharan blood in you, do you? And Richard's like, yeah, actually, I am totally a Daharan. I am the son of Dark and Rawl.
Who's the son of Padis Rawl.
Yeah, exactly. But wouldn't you have just a little bit of hesitancy? Like, why?
Yeah.
What's it say? Is it bad for me? I also go by Cypher. Should I?
Yeah. That's my last name. Let's stick with that one. Which actually, didn't he give his last name as Cypher, not Rawl when he came, but he's like trusting Warren enough to let him know that Rawl is his bloodline?
Yeah, I think that's what's going on because he is being picky about what he calls himself here. And I think that that's because he knows a lot of the sisters are expecting somebody special, but he doesn't want them to know exactly what they have. And it's to his advantage to not show all your cards right away. And I think that's how he's just, keeping them tucked.
Well, Pasha asks how he could be the bringer of the underworld, and Richard says, you tear the veil. Duh. And she's super confused because she's taught that you figure out the context of the word, and that is what the meaning is. Like, depending on the sentences around something,
use it in a sentence.
Then you can figure out what the meaning is. You don't need to have all this wonder around it. Warren says that's a problem. All three of these could apply with the context surrounding the word.
Yeah, they all have arguments to where they could work, so they don't really know which one is the one.
Right. And Richard's like, I'll think about which one it could possibly mean. I'll let you know.
I told you I was bad with riddles, dude.
Yeah.
Warren thanks them for coming because nobody ever comes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
That's
in
sad.
Warren's lair. I'm sorry. But Richard uses the metal plate to shut Pasha out. This was awesome. They're walking out of the room, and Richard's like, all right, see you later, Warren. Smacks the wall. And then he does like a twist like they do when they play football. And you get away from the guy real fast out of the door because it's stone. And I'm assuming that would crush you.
That would probably hurt a little bit.
Unless they have an automatic garage door laser thing in their built-in magic to prevent that from happening.
You would think that they would, but they probably don't.
Yeah, probably not, so Richard would have been dead. But no, he gets out of the way of the door, and it locks Pasha out. And you can hear her like, God damn it, Richard! What are you doing? And she's pissed. And then Richard turns to Warren and starts a little bro talk.
Yeah.
Some guy talk.
Warren says he shouldn't have been able to do that. Richard ignores that and just keeps wanting to talk about what he wants to talk about. But I thought that was funny when Warren was like, dude, the fuck did you just do?
Richard couldn't have known that was going to work.
No.
He had no way to know that was going to work.
But I think maybe he just assumed that he's a wizard, I'm a wizard. Bop.
He's like Neo from the Matrix. He's like, I'm the one. Of course it's going to work for me. I'm the guy, right?
But all Richard wants to talk about is what the sisters will do if they find out that Warren lied. Probably because, he's lied a couple times so far. So better to find out.
Yeah, that, and he's heard a half a conversation about them talking about that here. Like, it'll happen, and then everybody went mum and didn't say.
Yeah. I don't know.
Interest is piqued, though.
I didn't get the pamphlet.
Really would like to hear you finish that sentence.
And to no one's surprise, the answer is hurt him with the collar.
Yeah.
Warren's like, they don't do it all the time, but
great.
They come in and they give you the test of pain eventually, and so occasionally they will, see if you're ready for the official test and, poke you.
So that makes it so much worse, though, because then just randomly throughout your time there, they're going to open up the door with a metal rod and hot poker and be like, all right, today's the day, guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously they're just doing it through the collar, but yeah, essentially that is what's happening.
No, thank you.
Fuck you,
It
guys.
would be way less of a thing if it were like a build-up. And then you knew it was going to come, and then you had between now and then to get as ready as you could possibly do. I don't know how you would train for that, but you would want to, instead of just randomly, we're hurting you today.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
I don't know if I would want to know at all. I don't know how I would feel about that, because the whole idea of just, the test of pain seems a little bit...
Yeah, no, strong dislike for the words test of pain. Not like Hogwarts at all.
No.
I'd be like, this is horseshit.
Can I have the written version?
Yeah. It's not an oral test, is it? Because I could nail that right now. Not that. Never mind. Take all that back.
So Warren thinks that you pass by enduring it quietly and not begging for it to stop. But he's never gotten far enough to find out because he begs for them to stop.
Because it hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't blame him for that.
No.
No, not at all. So Richard wants Warren to start studying everything about him. The Towers of Perdition, the Valley of the Lost, and then he brings up the teardrop drawing that he saw. You remember a few pages back when he's like, oh, what the fuck? And then stored it away miraculously in his brain. I could not have done that.
Until Pasha got the fuck out. And he's like, all right, we can talk about it now.
Yeah. So Warren flips back to it, and that's what he saw around Rachel's neck in the valley, which is more proof that that was real. That wasn't just a vision.
Right.
It was actually a thing that he saw. They actually are there. And then we found out, I think for sure, a couple chapters later that they were at that weird pool. So it is legit, but that is what he saw. And it makes him think of Zed, which we also know is true because that was the point of Zed spelling the stone when Richard saw it.
Right.
It would make him want to seek out Zed.
Yes. And
boom!
Got it!
Yeah!
And
Beer me.
Warren tells him that it is the Stone of Tears, which we already know, and Richard adds this to his list of shit for Warren to study, along with the Bakaban Mana. And I thought it is interesting that he waited until Pasha left to tell Warren all of this. Like, obviously, he is, like you said, being selective about who knows what in this situation.
Right.
Like, he didn't want to bring up that he wanted Warren to study all this in front of Pasha. This is a secret mission for the guys.
Just for the guys. I was going to say, he didn't really wait for Pasha to leave. He shoved her out the door and then closed the door. But, same difference, really.
Yeah, whatever.
He waited until she was out of the room.
Exactly.
Otherwise, it would have been rude. You see?
Yeah, it would have.
Yeah.
For sure.
We're going with that. Rude.
So, in return, Warren requests a trip out of the palace with Richard as his guide. He'll do the studying when he can, but it's going to be a lot, and it's probably going to take a couple months.
Look, I know this is going to disappoint you, but if you were expecting results tomorrow, that's not going to happen. This is a process. It's going to take a very, very long time. So, yeah.
I am not Google.
Oh my gosh. Just one big magic supercomputer?
Yeah, that would help a lot.
That would be fantastic.
Richard suggests that he starts with the books that the prelate has been touching, and Warren's like, dude, I thought you didn't know riddles. Like, that's what I was thinking. High five. Warren asks then why he wants to know all about this shit, and Richard says he is the Fur Grisa, Richard says he is the bringer of death, and he knows what it means.
I know what it means. I'm Batman. But Warren promises to keep it a secret for now, and Richard reveals that the prophecy means all three things.
Boom!
He has killed people as the bringer of death. He has called forth the dead as the bringer of spirits, and he believes he has torn the veil, which is big number 3. So, Richard's point is that one word can have multiple meanings. They're all right. What that makes me think of is now they have to go through all these prophecy forks and look at all of them and say, okay, all of this could happen then. It widens their search or their argument by, like, a lot.
Yeah, it helps, because now they know that they don't have to limit it to one thing, but it also would make things a little bit more complicated, because you can't rule things out.
Yeah, everything has to fit.
Yeah.
So the puzzle gets even harder.
Yeah. And Warren thinks he's putting too much faith in him, and Richard says he has faith in somebody who could break Jed's leg.
Gasp! How dare you insinuate, sir?
No!
Not me! I'm the mole! Remember?
Richard tricks him into thinking he has ash on him. Which, I think was hilarious. He was like, you got a little on your shoulder there, bud.
He's like, I don't know what you're talking about, rubbing his shoulder off. And of course, Richard catches him. I thought it was going to be great if he was like, you got blood on your boot, dude. Oh, that's nothing.
It's red paint. Richard believes in justice, but now they both have a secret. So, it's cool. Jed deserved that shit, but, I have something on you.
Yeah.
You have something on me. So don't say shit, cool?
We both know what we know.